Welcome back to Tackle the Numbers, the channel savoring the late season chaos of the MLR. My name is Alistair Poole. As always, this video is also available as a podcast. If you'd rather listen than watch, check the link in the video description. The first match of the weekend was a commanding home win by San Diego over Seattle. The Seawolves were unable to overcome a 24-0 hole, failing to come within even a score of the Legion. San Diego was expected to win 27-25, and instead they won 34-21. This week wasn't kind to the Seawolves in the rankings either. They stayed basically level on attack at one point, but their defense continues to get worse. It's now 30.9 points, definitely subpar. Overall, that led to their combined margin dropping down to minus 2.3 points. This match also hurts San Diego's defense, which isn't much better than Seattle's at 28.7 points. They also dropped on attack, down to 3.4 points. That means, despite a dominant showing, they actually dropped below average to a minus 0.5 point combined margin. That seems too low to me, but I also don't have a great record of second-guessing my model. We then had a rain-soaked affair that saw Rooney visit New England. Rooney was expected to win it by just 2 points, 23-21. However, the conditions played a big factor in what became a 22-6 upset win by the Free Jacks. New England scored 4 tries to grab the bonus point, while denying their opponents even a single try. This match had huge playoff implications, as I'll get to later. For Rooney, this knocked them back a step. They stayed level on defense at 22 points, exactly, but on attack they dropped significantly, from over 8 points down to just 3.4 points now. They're still above average overall at a 3.2 point combined margin, but they're falling further behind their East Conference rivals. The Free Jacks got a ton of credit for this win, though. Their attack did get a little worse, as it's now a pretty poor minus 4.8 points, but their defense is now seen by the model as one of the best, at an excellent 16.1 points. That puts them at their highest combined margin of the season at 4.9 points. Now, I'm always a little suspicious of large swings of defense after rainy matches, so we'll see if they can hold on to this rating. Next, we saw Old Glory on the road against Toronto. It was a toss-up in the predictions, 26-25 to Toronto. Old Glory held a clear edge in the first half, but a quick run in the second half put Toronto ahead. In the end, Toronto won 34-28. This match felt good for Old Glory subjectively, but my model wasn't happy. Old Glory did spike up on attack to an even 1 point above average, but on defense they've continued to get worse. They're now at 34.6 points. That has tanked their combined margin down to minus 4.3 points. This also didn't look great for Toronto. They improved on attack to minus 0.4 points, but got worse on defense to 31.9 points. That has pulled their combined margin down to minus 3.1 points overall. Obviously, there's the caveat that Toronto is practically a new team given the number of internationals that they're missing right now. Finally, we had the second huge upset of the week. NOLA headed to LA, who hadn't lost at home and were favored to win by 2, 17-15. NOLA was also missing a ton of their starters to international teams, so people mostly wrote them off in this match. However, a strong second half saw them take a 1-point lead with just minutes to go. They won by 1, 21-20. This match also had huge playoff implications, which I'll also cover in a moment. NOLA definitely benefited a lot from this match. Their attack has been consistently bad the last few weeks, staying steady at minus 5.2 points, but on defense they shot up. They are now at 14.4 points on defense, a fantastic rating. That has pushed their combined margin to 5.8 points, a very good mark. For LA, this was a slight step back on defense. After setting a new record for defensive prowess 2 weeks in a row, they are now at 15.1 points on defense. That's still really, really good. On attack, they actually went up to 1.8 points. But overall, it was still a net loss for them, as they dropped a bit to 6.8 points in their combined margin. That rating is still good enough to keep LA on top of the rankings, though. There wasn't a whole lot of movement. in the rankings, given that a third of the teams had bye weeks. First, second, and third were retained by LA, Atlanta, and NOLA in that order. The Free Jacks rocketed up to fourth after their big win, while Utah held steady at fifth. Rooney dropped a couple to sixth, and Austin dropped one spot to seventh. Below that, there was no movement. San Diego in 8th, Seattle in 9th, Toronto in 10th, Old Glory in 11th, and Houston last. In the playoff race, however, there were some dramatic changes. NOLA and New England's upsets created a situation where NOLA and Rooney are in a dead heat tie for second in the East. Assuming that both handle their respective matches against Houston and Seattle, their clash in the final week will decide the winner. For New England, their heroic effort has kept them technically within the race. However, they have an extremely unlikely path. They would require both NOLA and Rooney to lose without bonus points next week, and then draw also without bonus points against each other. In the West, nothing much has happened, except that LA failed to lock in their playoff spot after losing to NOLA. Utah and Austin's battle for second has been on hold while they were on a bye week. This week will be pivotal, as Austin will play LA and Utah will play Rugby ATL. On to the matches this week. First up is a chance for Rooney to get back their mojo after a tough few weeks. They'll be hosting Houston and are favored to win by 10, 29-19. That's a 75% chance to win for the home side. Nothing from Houston suggests that the SaberCats will be able to challenge New York. Next up will be San Diego traveling to Old Glory. It's one of the closer predictions of this week, with San Diego expected to win by 3, 29-26. That's a 61% chance to win. Both teams have looked much improved in recent weeks, even if the numbers disagree. I expect it to be a fun match, even if there isn't that much at stake. Then we have one of the massive matchups of the week. Austin will be heading to LA to try to repeat NOLA's feat from last week. LA is expected to win by 4, 23-19, which is a 62% chance to win. But it doesn't factor in the desperation that Austin will be feeling. If they lose, they face almost certain elimination from contention. The other massive match is Atlanta at Utah. Atlanta is expected to win by 3, 22-19, which is a 58% chance to win. Utah has much more motivation to win, though, as a win would essentially lock their spot in the playoffs. At very least, if they are able to get a bonus point, they can stay ahead of Austin. However, Utah is missing key pieces to the US Eagles, so it could be tough for them to match their best performances. Next up, we have New England heading to the Toronto Arrows. New England is expected to win this one handily by 8, 26-18. It's a 72% chance to win for the Free Jacks. A bonus point win is necessary for them to keep their playoff hopes alive, but it isn't sufficient, as even a single bonus point by either NOLA or Rooney would knock them out. The final match has NOLA heading to Seattle. This match actually has the exact same prediction, with NOLA expected to take it by 8, 26-18. That's a 72% chance for the gold. This will be an important match for NOLA as they race with Rooney for that playoff spot. Well, that's all for me this week. If you want to pick against my numbers or check out all the charts and graphs, you can head over to tacklethenumbers.gloriousrugby.com. If you have questions or comments for the show, feel free to reach out to me at tacklethenumbers@gloriousrugby.com. Till next time, folks.